Namo Narayan. In life, there are some mysteries that, once revealed, either break a person from within or give them a completely new life. And today, as we are going to talk about eighth house of the horoscope. So, what is eighth house? Eighth house is exactly such a mystery. In scriptures, it is called the gateway to hidden knowledges. The things that people often see as bad omens are actually the steps that can change your destiny, which can change your life. And one such step is the eighth house of your horoscope. Now, what do people do? People usually connect the eighth house only with death or accidents. But what do the scriptures says? They say this house teaches you the real meaning of mystery, real meaning of destiny, and transformation. These three words represent the entire concept of the eighth house. It is the house where the karma from past life is hidden, and when the right time comes, it brings twists in life that can entirely change the direction of your existence. This is where it is decided whether you will break at a turning point or rise again. This house is like a room in life that has been closed for many years, that has been forbidden for many years. But when it opens, it reveals your true nature, your true capabilities, your true powers, and many more things. In the past few days, we have received many comments saying that we want an entire series on 8th house especially. So this is one of the part of that series. And in this video, I will try to explain this house in a more better way. And other videos links are also posted in the description box, which will tell you more about 8th house. So do listen that and keep that thinking out of your mind that this house is only related to death, or this house only represents your age, how long or how shorter you will live in the life. Other than this house has many big secret perspectives which can entirely, as I said, transform your life. Now, suppose, let me give you one example, a very good example. Now, whether it is a Shiva's third eye, the third eye of Lord Shiva, or the Mahakali's Tandav dance. These two things are the signs of this house. And if you recognize this house, the greatest fear in your life can become your greatest strength. Whatever planet sits here, that directly asks for an account of your karma. Now, this house does not allow, or this does not show only the death perspective or your hardships. It shows the turning point where your soul will face its true test. Maybe it can transform also. This thing doesn't matter that if any planet is placed there. Having a planet in 8th house doesn't define your age, doesn't define your accidents, your incidents in your life. Even if your 8th house is empty, then also it is carrying the equal amount of energy in your birth chart. Because not only 8th house, if any of the house in your horoscope is empty, means no planet is placed there, or maybe no aspect of any planet has been casted. So there also, whatever the zodiac sign is placed there we usually see that. Suppose in 8th house, your 8th house is empty, and there Sagittarius sign is already placed, means 9 number is written. So that doesn't mean that 8th house is empty. So now 9 number, which is your Sagittarius sign, the lord of that sign is already Jupiter. So there Jupiter will rule. That will become your 8th house lord, your Ashtamesh. So why not Jupiter will rule your 8th house? That doesn't matter that no planet is placed there, but the zodiac placed there also matters. So that is why 8th house is basically your entire existence, your nature. Now, existence in the sense not your personality, but your inner existence. Inner existence means what powers you will have, what energies you will carry on with you, which are given to you by your birth. So there are n number of possibilities which you can have from the birth, which you can attain just from one single effort. This is what we call as the 8th house. This is the place where destiny can actually change, where the real depth of life begins. That is why I say this house is very deep. And the ones who understand 6th, 8th, and 12th houses, they can never say that these three houses are bad. These three houses have also one good perspective of them, and those are actually very transformative. So today we are going to understand this mystery. So listen carefully. Keep your horoscope ready, and if you do not understand anything, make sure to comment in the comment section below. Now, before moving on to planets, there are two pointers, so there are few more pointers which I will tell you before starting, and at the ending of the video also you will find some interesting and some hidden pointers about 8th house which must be important for you, as we are not only focusing on planets only. Today we are trying to focus on other perspectives of 8th house also. Because as I said, there are n number of ways to understand 8th house, but the way, the path from which the processes go is the same. The path from where this connects is the same, which is your 8th house. So that is why it is important for you to understand each and every concept very clearly. Now, the first point, which is very important before moving ahead, if at any time in life the dashas or antardashas of 8th house lord is running, means the periodic times of 8th house lord that is running, then pay attention. This period is for one of the biggest transformations in life. It does not always mean something bad or something very unhappened, but it surely shakes you deeply from within, from inner transformation. And during this time, life feels like a roller coaster of ups and downs. And a person often does not understand why suddenly all these things are happening. If the 8th house lord is weak, or maybe sometimes powerless, affected by malefic planets, not in a good position, then this periodic time of your 8th lord can actually bring events in life that sometimes completely change you. Some people pass through this period and become very deep and strong, while others get entangled and break. That is why During this periodic time, the need is not to fear but to manage yourself carefully. The more positive you stay, follow the rules, and keep your actions pure, the more this eighth house transit will make you strong from within. So just keep this myth out of your mind that if eighth lord's periodic time is working or running in your birth chart, that dasha or antardasha is working on, then you will face many problems in your life, many obstacles. Yes, you will face. But as I said, it would be like a roller coaster. Not every time you will face obstacles, or whatever you will face, that will not sometimes long for last. If in case your eighth lord is weak somewhere, then we can aspect. Then your eighth lord dasha will be very bad or will bring many hardships for you. But if your eighth lord is itself not very much weak, then how can you say that your this time will be filled with many problems? That is why it is important to check your eighth lord's position, your eighth lord's condition, how it is placed, whatever the planet is aspecting on that, that also matters. That will decide the condition of that particular periodic time. Now, the second point. When we look 6 houses ahead from the eighth house, this is one of the most important point which we almost miss in our horoscopes when we calculate that. So, 6 houses ahead from the eighth house. It comes to the first house, means your ascendant, which means yourself, which indicates your entire existence. So, the simple meaning is this: if a planet is in the eighth house, the biggest struggle it creates will be within you, with yourself. And in the starting, if you remember, as I said, that eighth house is always about your inner existence. Why did I said that? Because this is the reason that eighth moving ahead from eighth to sixth house will give you first house. So there it indicates that your inner existence will matter a lot. From inner existence, you may have some energies with you if your eighth lord is placed in a well position, or if any planet is placed there, then that is also in well position. So, there are a number of ways which can prescribe your inner existence. Usually, we see first house for your outer existence, like how you will be, what will be your nature, your personality, how will you look. All these things we see from the first house. Basically, first house signifies you, it is associated within you. But eighth house is your inner existence. It can transform you from inner side, not from outer world. If you do not understand yourself, do not find your path, or do not move in the right direction, then that planet, which is either placed in the eighth house, or if not, then the eighth lord will keep creating problems in your life again and again. But if your ascendant is strong, your ascendant lord is good, in a good position, or a benefic planet is in the ascendant, then you can handle the challenges of the eighth house very easily. So, such a person knows when to speak, when to stop, what to do, and how to do it. They do not stray from their path. But if the ascendant is also weak, the eighth house is weak too, and on top of that, the fourth house is afflicted, then the person attracts problems into their own life. Now, what is the relationship between fourth house in this? That I will explain you at the end of the video. Now, the main point here is if planets are in the eighth house, then your ascendant and ascendant lord must be strong. The ascendant is your true base, your identity, and it is what can handle the storms of the eighth house. If you keep yourself disciplined, if you keep yourself controlled and stick to your routine and moral principles, even the planets in the eighth house will not be able to shake you and shake your life. That is why, if there is a solution for the eighth house, then it starts with you yourself, means your own ascendant. Remember this point. Now, we will move ahead to planets. In this video, our topic was to discover all planets in the eighth house, how they will affect all the nine planets. So now let's discuss about that one by one. And first we will start with Sun. Means if Sun planet is in the eighth house. So in such a case, at the beginning of life, you may not get the fame, the respect and recognition you deserve. People may ignore you and fail to understand your talent. But if you stick to your principles, knowing what is right and what is wrong, and keep moving forward without thinking of any obstacle or of any people, life will eventually give you the recognition you deserve, even if it comes late. The sun here makes you strong from within, physically and spiritually both. This inner strength later allows you to become a guide for others because you may be a mentor showing the way to others because you have learned so much from the depth of life that this planet is now giving you the ability to guide others and help them. So, if the sun is in the eighth house, do not fear. Just stay committed to your actions and truth. The results may come late, but they will come suddenly, at a moment. And if in case, if you feel that you're facing something bad from this sun in your eighth house, then it may be just because your eighth lord may be not a good position, or maybe sun is not in a good position. See, the position and the placement of the planet and the lord of that house matters a lot. Even if a malefic planet aspects on your sun in the eighth house, then that can also spoil that good effects of that planet. So that is why check your placements, check all the aspects very carefully, then only you can say that yes, this is the thing which I'm facing just from sun in the eighth house. Now, if moon is in the eighth house, then emotional shocks in life are almost certain. Sometimes friends do not support you in childhood. Sometimes there are breaks in family. Sometimes trust in marriage and relationships breaks. So, this means the moon here will test your heart at every turn. But if you do not give up, do not fear these shocks, and understand and manage your emotions, the moon will also teach you the real lessons of life. Keep your focus on your goals and control your mind. Otherwise, the moon can quietly eat away at you, trapping you in fear, worry, phobias, and sadness. These all are the indications of moon or the testimonials of moon in the eighth house. But if you learn how to handle your mind during difficult times and stay stable, you can overcome the moon's challenges very easily. What is the nature of moon? It is basically, it is never stable. Moon is always unstable. Whether you see according to the solar system, moon is always unstable. And in astrology, if in any place of a horoscope moon sets, then their instability always cause. And if your moon is in the eighth house, then absolutely instability will be there in some on the other cases. Whatever the eighth house relates to, in that such a case, moon will create instability. Now, if Mars is in the eighth house, then roughly between the ages of 16 to 28, this will be a crucial period in life. Every step you take and every habit you form lays the foundation of your future. If during this time you do not maintain the rhythm of your life or direct your energy properly, then Mars can create problems. It can create hardships for you. Sudden accidents or situations where your anger or stubbornness backfires are warnings from Mars. But Mars is not here to destroy you absolutely. It is saying recognize your power, give it the right direction, stay disciplined. If you follow its positivity, its positive energy, then Mars protects you, gives you courage, and transforms you into a person who can face any storm. But if you fill it with anger, lust, haste, or uncontrolled impulses, then Mars does not hold back. It shakes your life. If Mercury is in the eighth house, then you will have knowledge, understanding, and information. But if you do not share this knowledge with others or keep it only to yourself, that Mercury can slowly start causing problems in life. Like health issues can be there, deaths can be there, enemies, many other troubles can be created by Mercury in the eighth house. You need to circulate your intelligence, your ideas, your thoughts among people in a clever way. Otherwise, that intelligence will return as complications. And one more thing, Mercury in the eighth house can also give good results, especially in research, deep learning, or hidden knowledge. But this also depends on which house Mercury rules in the chart. For example, if Mercury is ruling the first house and sits in the eighth house, then even your own decisions can sometimes create tension. That is why the place where Mercury rules or the place where Mercury's signs are placed, that matters a lot. The simple message is if Mercury is in the eighth house, don't keep your thoughts only in your mind. Use them in other people's lives, share them, speak up, and explain it. Otherwise, Mercury will start confusing you. And when confusion grows, clarity always decreases. Whether you are educated, whether you have taken a graduation from any big society, you are a graduated person, or any degree at the moment does not be helpful for you, but just your intelligence would be helpful. It's a quote made by a wise person who says, hard work is not important, but smart work is more crucial than hard work. Now, the difference between both of them is very important for you to understand. If you will be doing only hard work, then how you will achieve or how you will invoke your intelligence. That is why hard work plus smart work is needed here in this position. Let's talk about Jupiter. Means Jupiter is in the 8th house. So it kind of brings into your life all the things that can elevate a person, like teachers, guidance from elders, religion, principles, truth, rules, sacrifices. But if you ignore these and go the wrong way, not listening to anyone, not following any principles, and only chasing pleasures and comfort, then Jupiter will not hold back. It can directly create problems in life. Money may stop coming, family issues may appear, children may bring sorrow, marriage may face obstacles, and focus in studies or careers may weaken. Basically, many difficulties will come at the same time. But if you listen to your teachers, respect your father, follow truth and principles in life, practice some sacrifice, Jupiter can actually take you to heights that most people only dream of. This is the beauty of this placement. If you understand the language of sacrifice and principles, then Jupiter will fill your life with depth, not through wealth, but through thoughts, values, true respect. That is what matters in your life. Now, if Venus occupies your 8th house, in such a case, relationships in life will definitely be tested, whether it's love, friendship, marriage, or family bonds. At some point, a situation will come that shakes you deeply. And Venus here activates your relationship zone first. Sometimes a love breaks, a heart breaks, and you feel stuck. That is when Venus pain begins. But many times that broken relationships also shows you the way forward in life. That is why if you're facing any hardships, that will make you learn something. The biggest lesson of Venus is in the 8th house, do not run from emotional pains. Understand it, because that pain helps you grow and mature. If you just endure the sorrow without understanding it, then the pain can last for years and put you in darkness. But if you learn who is right for you and who is not, and turn that heartbreak into strength, then Venus gives you charm and depth that inspires others. Let's talk about Saturn placed in the 8th house. It can sometimes become a master teacher that deeply explains your life. If you understand it properly, then Saturn here directly says focus on your actions, do good for others, help people, and bring discipline into your life. Then see how far I can take you. But if you do nothing, do not help anyone, ignore your duties, or do not understand the purpose of life, then Saturn will not hold back. It will teach you repeatedly through difficulties, through hardships, obstacles at work, delays in life, blockages in every task, fatigue in body. All these are Saturn's lesson when we stray from our actions. But as soon as you help someone get a job, support a poor person, follow a daily routine, and try to work hard, walk to the path of truth, Saturn instantly can start bringing positivity into your actions just by doing these small steps. Now, if Rahu occupies your 8th house, then in such a case, life starts to feel a strange pull. Someone may suddenly enter your life, or something may appear, or a distraction may happen that completely captures your mind and attention. You may find yourself thinking, I don't know what was going through my mind at that time. That come to my mind suddenly. This is Rahu's nature in the eighth house. Confusion, illusion, and addiction. If we do not understand Rahu's distraction in time, it can take us to the paths that are very hard to return from, like gambling, betting, bad investments, wrong relationships, or people who emotionally or financially harm us. But if we keep our mind stable, do not make decisions in anger, and stay away from addictions or greed, then Rahu gives us the power to understand things deeply. And I would say Rahu in the eighth house teaches a lot. But the condition is that you do not get trapped in its illusions and instead recognize the illusion. And I always see in my videos to defeat Rahu's illusion, you itself have to become an illusion. You have to become a mastermind like Rahu. You have to try each and every effort to defeat Rahu's illusion. There are a number of ways, but in a positive way, not in a negative way. That matters, and that's up to on you. If you see through confusions, Rahu can become a great weapon. Otherwise, it will trap you in its web. So, when Rahu is in the eighth house, the biggest remedy is control yourself and stop chasing every shiny thing. One more thing, in this placement in your childhood, you must have learned or you must have seen something which will be very transformative for you. Now, depending upon your Rahu, it could be bad, it could be positive too. Suppose any incident you faced in your childhood, which will be very heartbreaking for you, which will be very shocking for you, that amazed you. So, these kind of incidents you will always face. Now, if Ketu is in the eighth house, then something sudden can happen in life that shocks your heart. A relationship may break, a close one may be lost, or a mistake may occur that you still regret. Because you already know that the eighth house is the house of hidden pain, deep transformations, sudden changes. And when Ketu occupies this house, it says, what happened, happened. Now see how you come out of it. Many people get stuck in this pain and stop moving forward. But Ketu's real lesson is that after an ending comes a new beginning. After losing something, you can gain something deeper if you learn to change. And the most important thing is this change is not external, it is always internal. Because whatever any planet A to Z sits in this house that affects your internal health, your internal energies, not your external ones. So when Ketu is here, here also this change is not external, it's internal. In your thinking, in your understanding and soul. If you see the loss only as sorrow, it will keep pulling you down. But if you see it as a transformation, then Ketu can take you to a level where the things of the world start to feel small. Now, some people will say that my eighth house is empty. So, in that case, what do we assume? So, some people may also think that if eighth house is totally empty means no planet is placed there. No aspects are casted by any planet. So it may seem simple, but it is actually a great gift in life. Let me tell you one thing. When no planet sits in your eighth house, it means that the deep, pulling, or dark experiences in your life will be very few. You will not be hurt by small things. You will not face major emotional setbacks and daily worries, fears, mental confusion, or soul stressing events will not occur repeatedly. And most of the time, you may say, we have never faced such big problems in life. Because you truly do not know what the pain of the eighth house is. No illness, no death, or enemies will have a strong effect on you, and life will flow more smoothly. But yes, if the Lord of the eighth house moves into the ascendant or connects with the ascendant Lord, then things can totally change. But generally, if no planet is in the eighth house, consider yourself lucky because you are unaware of the hardships of the eighth house. Sometimes people understand life's deeper lessons later, around the age of 40 to 45, about their actions, their soul, or deep knowledge. Why then they live life easily, peacefully, and with joy? But still, if you think that you have faced many hardships in your life, many obstacles, even your eighth house being empty, then that must be the sign placed there and the Lord of that sign which is creating hardships for you. So do check that. It should be in favor of your eighth house if there is any sign. If it is not in favor, then let me tell you, you will absolutely face all the obstacles occurred by the eighth house. Now let's see. As I told you in the starting of the video, I mentioned you some points about eighth house, which are very crucial for you to know. And in that one of the I mentioned fourth house relation. Now I will explain it. So listen to it carefully and note down each and everything. If a planet sits in your eighth house, then who can help you get through the pain, through the suffering, and transformation caused by the eighth house? And the answer for this question is your fourth house. Because if you count four houses from eighth house, you reach the fourth house, which is the fortune of the eighth house. If a benefic planet sits in the fourth house, like we have Moon, Venus, Jupiter, natural benefics, or planets in exaltation, the impact of the eighth house will not fully affect you. Some pain or setbacks may come, but you will recover it. Stand strong again and feel inside that I am not made to break up. But if planets like Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, Sun, Mars, these are cruel planets. If these sits in the fourth house and there are also malefics in the eighth house, then the person becomes the creator of their own suffering. Their mind may feel that whatever happens, that happens, and then the pain continues in life. On the other hand, if there is a benefic planet in the fourth house, it speaks to the person from within. This is not the way. Protect your home, your peace, and your happiness. It stops you to shake your inner self and makes you gather yourself. That is why I say having benefic planets in the fourth house acts as a shield against the blows of the planets in the eighth house. And as similar to the first house, these two houses, first house which is your ascendant and fourth house, needs to be in a good position, and then only you can say that yes, your eighth house cannot affect you a lot. It gives timely warnings and protects the person at their core. Now, let's see the last point, which is equally important for you. If we count the eighth house from the eighth house, then it becomes the third house. And this is where the real story begins. The third house tells us with what courage, strength, with what mind, communication, and the power to rise after every fall we are going to fight. If a planet sits in the eighth house and your third house is strong, then no matter how big a tragedy comes in your life, whether it is an untimely death or a storm in the home, you can handle it very easily. But if the third house is weak, the person sees every blow and every problem as fate. They lose the strength to speak, the courage to act, the will to work, and they cannot move forward on any path. No matter what the planet in the eighth house does, if the third house is strong enough, then whether the third lord is good or benefic planet sits there, then the person can actually overcome every struggle. But if the third lord is weak, or Rahu, Ketu, Saturn sits in the third house, then the person breaks from within. That is why third house is our backbone. It teaches us to speak, courage gives, and teaches us to face every battle of life alone if needed. And if there are planets also occupied in the eighth house, then strengthening the third house, giving it remedies and support, is the first step to coming out of the pain to the eighth house. Otherwise, as they say, the heart is broken and no one is left to speak for you. So, this was all about today's video. Now, remember one thing, when your life will change and how will it change? All of this is a sudden and hidden in the heart of this house. But if you understand it and read its signs, read its aspects, you will no longer be an ordinary person. You become the true guide of your own life. The one who has been tested in the fire of the eighth house can shine like a diamond or a gold in the life. That is what the actual meaning says of this eighth house. Now, in this video, this was all about eighth house. If you want more such videos, then put your suggestions in the comments below. Put your experiences about eighth house, whatever you feel from within. And then subscribe to our channel because this is the way where you can become your companion through Vedic astrology. So see you soon with a new depth of knowledge here on our channel. Thank you and Namo Narayan.